Hi everyone and welcome to the YouTube channel of Get Set Law by IMS. I'm your verbal ability mentor Sanjana ma'am, and today I bring to you another very interesting and equally important topic called figures of speech / literary devices, something quite relevant to law entrance examinations including CLAT, SLAT, ALET, right? And a couple of them I'm going to discuss under 5 minutes. So let's get started, right? Now the first one that I have here for you are not the easy ones, which is personification or a metaphor. I'm going to begin with explaining what a synecdoche is. Now synecdoche is where you use a small part of something to refer to that thing, right? For example, when I say, can you give me a hand? I'm not asking for the hand, I'm asking for your assistance. Similarly, if you look at the example here, he asked for her hand in marriage. He's not asking for her hand, he's actually asking for the person to whom the person wishes to be married to, right? So this is what a synecdoche is. Next is metonymy, commonly associated with synecdoche, but in metonymy, you use a closely associated word. I repeat, closely associated word about something to refer to that thing. For example, the pen is mightier than the sword. Pen here represents art, literature, and sword represents war, right? So what I'm trying to emphasize is that art, literature is more profound and greater than war, right? Similarly, when I talk about the White House, I'm referring to the US government or the American government, right? So this is what metonymy is, a closely associated word. Right, next I have oxymoron, which is when you use two contradictory or contrasting words, I repeat, words next to each other to create a very profound, deep or floral impact on your writing. For example, when you take a look at the phraseology here, which is deafening silence, which are two opposite ideas. How can silence be deafening? Similarly, when you take a look at exact estimate, estimate is something which is not quite definite, but here you're referring to it as being exact. So how is this possible? Well, it is used to create a very floral impact, right? It is used to beautify your writing. The next up we have antithesis, which is when you use two contrasting ideas next to each other, right? But the parallel structure remains the same of the two ideas. Very often you will find it separated, the clause being separated with the help of a comma. For many are called but few are chosen, right? Two contrasting ideas, but do you look at the grammatical structure? It's quite similar, right? One small step for man, one giant step for mankind, right? Better to reign in hell, comma, than to serve in heaven. Two contrasting ideas, right? Juxtaposed together, but they are similar in parallel structure. Right, next up is irony. We have multiple examples of irony. You have verbal irony, situational irony, dramatic irony. Irony is, simply put, when the intended meaning is different from the literal meaning, right? For example, in this condition, the Titanic was touted as an unsinkable ship, yet it sat on its first voyage. Now something which is unsinkable implies that it can never sink, but this is what happened to the Titanic, which actually sank on its first voyage, right? So this is a example of a situational irony. Next is paradox, where you use two contradictory ideas, but there is an element of truth to it. It's very relatable, right? It has some hidden truth to it. Less is more, even though they are contradictory to each other, but it's quite profound. You're able to relate to it, you're able to agree with it, right? Similarly, I can resist everything but temptation itself. So this is the example of a paradox. Next we have litotes, in which you use a negative statement but to emphasize a positive meaning. When I eat a slice of pizza and I say not bad, I do not really mean that it's not bad. What I'm trying to emphasize is that I really like the taste of it. It's good. Similarly, not a bad idea, she said after hearing the perfect solution to their problem. How do you identify litotes? Well, it's a form of an understatement, and you're able to identify it with the help of the presence of a no or not before the actual phraseology, right? And the last one here is hyperbole, which is an exaggeration. When I say you take some 1,000 years to respond to my text, you don't literally take 1,000 years. But what I'm trying to emphasize is that you take so long to respond to my messages. Similarly, I was studying in my room for an eternity. Now, this is not possible, but what I'm trying to emphasize is that I was studying in my room for that long period of time, right? And as a bonus, I have a statement for you. Do let me know in the comment section which figure of speech, which particular figure of speech appears in this statement. And that's about this session. I hope you like it, you find it helpful. In order to connect with the mentors, in order to gain more insights, you can reach out to us through these QRs here. Thank you so much. Have a great day.